Just look at this big plate of goodness with vibrant green dressing. This has got to be one of my favorite pasta salads I've ever made. It is that good. Halloumi inspired tofu. Now that is what I'm talking about. Let's just get Poppy settled and then we'll make a delicious green dressing for this spring salad. Now make sure you're going to season that water with salt. We do not want bland pasta. So filming has taken a little bit of a turn for the worse. It's my favorite day of the week. It is Veg Box Day. So let's have a look at what we're working with. This week we've got some lovely greens, starting with some flat beans. They look really nice and fresh. Also got some green beans. The company I'm using is Riverford if you are in the UK. It's a really good organic company. Really nice pointed red pepper here. They are lovely and sweet. A couple courgettes, a couple pointed cabbages. I actually bought these for a specific purpose, and that is to make some sauerkraut later in the week. And then this is what I'm really excited for, some beautiful asparagus. They have quite a short season, only a couple months long, so definitely eat as much asparagus as you can while it's available. We'll definitely use this in today's video and I'll show you how to prep it. And then we have a nice bag of peppery salad leaves. I am starting to get a good idea of what I want to make today. It's definitely going to be a salad. And then we've just got a few extra bits, mushrooms, a few carrots, spring onion, and some sweet potato. Okay, apron on, and let's get cooking. Let's do this. Okay, asparagus, it's delicate, it's tender, it's beautifully sweet, and absolutely delicious. Let me show you how to prepare it. So asparagus typically has a slightly woody bottom part that we need to remove, and one method is to just gently snap it off, like so, and it should remove mostly just the woody part. But personally, I don't love this method as you can end up losing too much of the stalk. Some of this is definitely going to be absolutely fine to eat. So instead, what I like to do is I just start slicing through the stalk. It's gonna sound quite woody at first, and then once it feels a bit more tender, like here, you can stop slicing and you know you've just got the really nice delicate part. And then with these smaller bits, you can use them in veggie stock or just put them in the compost. I've got really lovely thin stalks of asparagus here, so there isn't actually too much of the woody end, which is great. And then for this salad, I'm just going to cut them into sort of bite-sized pieces on a slight angle. I don't like it when you've got really long bits of vegetables in a salad and you're trying to eat the salad and they're just sort of dangling out of your mouth. Ideally, you want all the ingredients to be able to stay on sort of one spoon if you can. Next, I've got some courgette. I often see people removing far too much. You only need to remove just the end, like so. And then on the other side, literally just this tiny bit here. No need to take anything else off. And I always keep a Tupperware on hand for any sort of veg offcuts, just so I'm not going back and forth from the bin. The courgette, we're just going to cut into nice uniform cubes, roughly 1 centimeter thick, I'd say, or maybe 1.5 centimeters. As long as they're the same size so that they cook evenly, that's the most important part. And since I'm a chef, I always love to use these little mise en place bowls to keep nice and organized. Mitzi has come to join us in the kitchen. We have also got Poppy, who I think is a little bit hot. It's going to get to 28 degrees today. So I reckon she'll be chilling on this nice cool floor for a lot of the time. We've just been for a big walk, so she's quite sleepy. And we've got some beautiful spring onions here. Just going to trim the ends off. And when I say the ends, I mean literally just the ends. We don't want to waste too much. When you splash out and get yourself an organic local veg box with beautiful produce like this, it really does get you thinking about food waste and of course not wanting to waste any of that money that you've spent. I think a lot of the fruit and veg in supermarkets is probably sold too cheaply, although it may not seem like it at the moment with everything getting so expensive. So if you can get a veg box, I think it's a great thing to do. Personally, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't really go partying, that sort of thing, but I do like to buy nice organic vegetables. Does that make me weird? Let me know. As always, when cutting veg, you want to make it more manageable and easier to cut. So I'm going to slice them in half first so I can get a better grip on them. I've then got my fingertips tucked in and we're using the knuckle to guide the knife. And I'm just going to slice these to a similar size as the courgette, maybe slightly smaller. You can just hear how fresh and crunchy that is. It's going to be amazing. I've got some really nice French beans here, which I'm just cutting into bite-sized pieces. I'm going to be using some orzo in this salad. When I was a kid, I called this rasta because it's almost like a mix between rice and pasta. It is pasta, but it has a similar shape to a rice grain, hence the name rasta. We'll bring some water to the boil, ready for our orzo, or rasta, as I like to call it. Now make sure you're going to season that water with salt. We do not want bland pasta. Yeah, of course. I was actually going to add some veggie stock, so it adds flavor as well as salt. That's a great idea, actually. Go ahead. He seems to know what he's doing. So I'll just crumble this veggie stock cube into the boiling water, just half a cube. Give that a quick whisk, and then in with the orzo. Now orzo does not take long to cook, so I'll be adding these green beans in after just a couple minutes of cooking it. Should be cooked in around 6 to 8 minutes. Okay, this is looking good. We want the pasta to be al dente, so still with a slight bite. We don't want it to be mushy. I'm just going to drain this into a sieve. And because this is for a pasta salad, I'm going to wash it in cold water and get all the starch off it. This will also stop the cooking process so it doesn't overcook. It will also help keep the green beans lovely and green. I received a really lovely comment from a viewer the other day. Essentially, they said that they felt like they were having a cooking lesson in my kitchen when they watched my videos. So that is exactly how I want this channel to be. I want you to feel like you're in the kitchen, learning some new skills, and getting inspiration for the next time you cook some delicious plant-based goodness. So thank you to that viewer, and let's get back to the cooking. I want some extra crunch in this salad, so I've just got a pan over a medium heat, and I'm going to add in some pumpkin seeds. I believe they might also be called pepitas in America. Let me know. We'll toast these for a few minutes until they start to go a lovely golden brown color. Tossing every now and again. These are looking good. They've got a nice light golden tinge, so I'm going to remove them and let them cool down. Out on the first walk, and it is a misty morning here in Cheddar. Poppy is loving life as usual. Let's see if we can find her. Poppy! Is she gonna come back? Here she comes. Good girl. Where are you going? Where are you going, Poppy? Bounding through the grass. While this pan is hot, I'm going to saute our veggies in a little olive oil. This is optional. You could definitely just steam or boil them. I quite like to add a little bit of caramelization to them. So in with our asparagus, courgette, and spring onion. I'm not going to add any salt at first, as I want to get a little color on these veggies, and salt will draw out moisture, causing them to steam. I'll be honest, this pan is slightly crowded, but if the heat is high enough, we should still get some caramelization. The key here being not to move the vegetables too much and let them develop a little bit of a crust. Okay, I can smell that we're starting to get some caramelization on here. So I'm going to give it a flip. That is looking beautiful. As always, make sure you taste while you're cooking. That asparagus is incredible. It's tender, al dente, juicy, just needs a little bit of salt. I'll switch off the heat now. A small sprinkle of salt and a nice crack of black pepper. Stir those seasonings through, and then we'll leave it to cool down slightly. Just take a look at that, absolutely beautiful. That is spring right there. Very excited to try this. I'm just going to check that Poppy is still asleep, and then I think we'll make a delicious dressing. I think she might have heard us. Do you want to cuddle? Let's just get Poppy settled, and then we'll make a delicious green dressing for this spring salad. Good girl. Okay, time to raid the fridge for this salad dressing. We've got some rather sad looking basil here, which is actually perfect as we're going to do a blended salad dressing. I've also got some parsley, and then we need some flavor boosters. Let's go for a little Dijon mustard, some capers. These will add a nice sort of tangy, salty flavor. What have we got here? We've got some preserved lemon. That is definitely going to go in. We could add some olives, but I think I'll skip that this time. Bit of random carrot salad. Let's not use that. Okay, I think we're good to go. Now I know I'm always going on about my Patreon page, but it is really flourishing now into a beautiful community hub for the Earthy Goodness Kitchen. We chat together, we share cooking inspiration. I post an extra video every week. I also share recipe PDFs. And yeah, it's just a great community hub. So if you haven't already signed up, scan this QR code or there'll be a link in the description box. Okay, basil's going in, stalks and all. Good handful of parsley. You could use any herbs that you like. Generally soft ones though, so like dill, chives, tarragon. Half teaspoon of Dijon mustard for a little bit of heat in there. Spice. Going for a teaspoon of capers, maybe a little bit less than a teaspoon. Half a small preserved lemon. I've just removed the pith and the seeds. I'm going in with 1 small garlic clove. Next up, carrying on with those fresh spring vibes, we're going to add the zest of 1 lemon. Always use the zest and the juice. There's so much flavor in the zest. Just make sure you're not zesting too hard and going through to the white pith, which is very bitter. We've got 3 types of lemon going in. We've got the zest, the juice, and the preserved lemon. It's going to be delicious. I'm going to add a few of those toasted pumpkin seeds we did, just add a little body and nuttiness to this dressing. And then I'm also going to go in with some olive oil. You could just add a splash of water if you wanted to keep it oil-free. A couple of tablespoons to start with. And then a small pinch of salt. Preserved lemons are quite salty, so don't add too much. And a good crack of black pepper. And that's it, we'll give that a good blend until nice and smooth. Nearly forgot, I also like to add in an ice cube. This helps prevent the heat of the blender from discoloring the lovely green herbs. As always, make sure to give your dressing a taste in case it needs any sweetness, acidity, salt, pepper, that sort of thing. Oh, that is so good. It really does kick a punch. That is beautiful. I think it needs a touch of sweetness, maybe a tiny drizzle of maple syrup, as the herbs can be quite earthy. But other than that, it is delicious. Actually, forget what I just said, the asparagus, the courgette, all the other veggies have a lovely sweetness. So if the dressing is a bit more acidic, maybe slightly bitter, that's absolutely fine, as it's going to balance out with those sweet vegetables. That's something to keep in mind when making salad dressings. You want to think about what you're pairing the salad dressing with. For example, if you're doing a beetroot salad, it's going to be very sweet and earthy, so the dressing can be really bold, acidic and punchy. I'm going to bring this delicious salad together in an oven dish, just because it's easier for you guys to see, rather than a bowl. So start with the orzo and the green beans. Then those beautiful sautéed greens. They look incredible. The toasted pumpkin seeds, I'll keep a few back to go on top. A nice handful of these peppery greens, which I've just washed and spun, so that they're nice and dry. And of course, that incredible vibrant green dressing. It's been in the fridge for a little bit now, so it's thickened up nicely. And then that is ready to be mixed through. I wasn't going to add all the dressing, but I have changed my mind. I want it really nice and saucy. Get that all in there. You want to get every piece of orzo coated in that dressing. Just look at this big plate of goodness. Let's tuck in. I haven't even had breakfast yet and it's coming on to like 1 p.m. I've realized that if I film when I've already eaten quite a lot, then I'm not really in the mood to film. So now I just sort of fast in the morning, film the video, and then I'm actually really excited to tuck into this. Wow. That is just delicious. Pasta salads are just such a great way to get your greens in, and they taste amazing. This has got to be one of my favorite pasta salads I've ever made. It is that good. The courgette cubes, they're beautifully caramelized and sweet, Then you've got the asparagus, which is just tender, has a nice sort of snap to it and really lovely and juicy. And then occasionally you get a nice bit of caramelized spring onion. The pasta, of course, just adds a nice bit of body to the dish. Crunchy pumpkin seeds, they're really essential, adding in more texture to this delicious salad. And of course, that dressing just ties it all together. It's vibrant, it's zingy, and just adds so much flavor. So I was going to call it a day and just make the salad, but it's not really a complete meal. So we're going to add some protein and make a sort of halloumi style tofu. I'm just going to clean up the kitchen and then I'll show you how it's done. So filming has taken a little bit of a turn for the worse. I was cleaning the oven dish that I mixed the salad in, and it broke in half and I've cut open my thumb pretty badly. So yeah, I'm going to go to A&E. Maybe some stitches, it's hard to tell. Ooh, we will see. And then maybe we'll have time to make the tofu tonight. Yeah, not ideal. We made it back from A&E. I've had my thumb glued back together and yeah, good to go. It's pretty sore, but not too bad. Poppy's just chilling out. It is very hot today. I think it's getting up to like 30 degrees. But yeah, if I feel up to it, I'm going to go ahead and do the halloumi tofu. Does anyone else go a bit crazy when tofu is on offer in the supermarket? This was 3 for 2, so we've gone and got 8 packets, and these are big 450 gram packets. So let me know if it's just me or you do it as well. Okay, so I've got a couple blocks of firm tofu, and we're going to keep this nice and simple and just cut them into quite large cubes. And then, as usual, we're going to simmer this tofu in some salted boiling water. This will season it from within and also make it lovely and firm. Trying to not get my injured hand wet, as I need to keep the plaster dry for at least 5 days. We'll bring that to a simmer and let it cook for around 10 minutes. We'll get the marinade done. I'm going to add the zest of 1 lemon to start with into a large bowl. And we'll add the juice as well. Next up, some dried herbs. I'm going for some oregano and some dried mint, not quite as much though, as it is quite strong. Then of course, we're going to add in some nutritional yeast. If you haven't yet got yourself a mega tub of nutritional yeast, then you definitely need to get on that. It's a great investment into your happiness. And don't wash up your zester quite yet, as we're going to add in some zested garlic. You could also use garlic granules if you wanted, dried garlic. Then a good amount of extra virgin olive oil. Also going to add a few spoonfuls of vegan yogurt. This is just a soy-based one I've got here. This will give the halloumi a really nice sort of creamy texture. A good crack of black pepper and a small pinch of salt. One last ingredient, we're going to add in some of the brine from these capers. Give it a nice salty, sort of tangy flavor. You could also use olive brine if you wanted to. And we're just going to give that a good whisking together. Get all the ingredients nice and combined. Smells incredible already. And then in goes our tofu. And then we'll just mix that through, get all the tofu lovely and coated in that marinade. That's all good. We'll let that marinade ideally overnight, or even just for 30 minutes will make a difference. I am of course trying to make my life as easy as possible with my injured thumb. So I'm going to make use of the air fryer and give it a good grilling. Don't throw away the marinade. We'll brush the tofu after it's been cooking for a little while, or you can just use it again for some more tofu. So I'll grill this until it's got some nice color on it. Okay, this has had 10 minutes. It's looking really nice, starting to caramelize. So I'm going to give it a flip. Just using a spatula or a fish slice. Okay, those are all mostly flipped. I'm going to brush on a little bit of the extra marinade, and then we'll grill it for another, I think probably 8 to 10 minutes. Adding in some extra marinade is going to ensure it doesn't dry out, keep it really lovely and moist. Okay, back into the air fryer. Okay, here we go. Halloumi inspired tofu. Now that is what I'm talking about. That tofu is honestly next level. I've never been so excited to eat dinner after the day that I have had with the whole thumb shenanigans and just not sleeping last night. But we can put that all behind us. We've got a delicious and nutritious meal here. So yeah, what's not to be happy about? And honestly, this halloumi inspired tofu is just the best thing ever. And it works perfectly with this pasta salad. I actually recently did a tofu marinade video for my premium Patreon members. I showed off 3 delicious tofu marinades just like this one. So if you haven't already checked out the membership options, be sure to do so. I promise you won't regret it. As always, thank you so much for watching today's video, and an even bigger thank you to my Patreon VIPs for supporting the channel. It is greatly appreciated. If you're not already a member on my Patreon page, be sure to check it out. There'll be a link in the description box. And if you enjoyed this video, you'll definitely enjoy this one.